the reason why there's so much more frustration with the press now is because the press means a million different things, right? There's a million different news outlets, which means a million different medias, which means your media might not be your media. And as a result, we can all hate some form of media because we all have outlets we love and outlets we might not love. So I think it's made this more intense. And it makes me think about, okay, so if it's hard to get certain kinds of facts through to a certain audience, how do we do that? What do we do differently? Maybe we need new news organizations. Maybe we need new brands. Maybe we need new anchors. I don't know. New people to try to break through to a part of the country that doesn't want to hear it or doesn't believe it. And the great example last week with the border are the folks who told reporters they didn't believe the pictures. Or, those pictures from Obama's years, right? A couple of them were, most of them weren't. Those kinds of fake news claims and attacks have such a hold on people. And not just on the right. I'm really concerned now about the rage and anger and fear on the left and how that's actually causing a lot of folks on the left to tune out news organizations. It is not just people on the right that have media criticism. A lot of folks on the left are furious with the press because they don't think we're taking on Trump enough.
Although I want to say one thing, which is to remember that after the recount in 2000, there was great anger from the left. After the failure of reporting on WMDs, there was great anger from the left.
The difference now is they can organize online and create their alternatives.
Susan, what are the conversations you guys having at USA Today on how to address this and how to keep faith with truth, how to make sure, and I want to be clear, in a few minutes we're going to go to questions, so I want you guys to be locked and loaded, ready to go. But
David, I want to go back to your earlier question, actually, which is that when President Trump sends out an outrageous tweet that attacks us, or and should we take the bait, basically? And I think this has been a conundrum from the beginning of his presidential campaign. And I think that we continue to fall for the bait, which is to become consumed by the outrageous action and not by the substantive effect of whatever he's doing. And I think this is actually I think he is very skilled at doing this. And I think there have been time after time when he's gotten into trouble on a story, he's in a bad place, and he'll send out something so outrageous that you cannot look away. And I'm not saying we shouldn't cover it, but I think we need to be smarter about figuring out where we're going to put our resources and making sure we're not only going for the outrageous comment. And you know, we think about this all the time at USA Today about to what degree do we devote our resources to covering the outrageous tweet, and to what degree do we devote our resources to figuring out what it is the EPA is doing on environmental policy? And I feel like if you want to talk about a way to rebuild trust generally with the news media, I think it would, starting out by not all jumping toward the bright shiny object would be a start. My very first editor, Bob Greene, at Newsday, who was a legendary investigative reporter and quite the character. And when I started in the Ronkonkoma Bureau of Newsday, he said...
The much coveted assignment of
Yes, it was.
Island.
Yeah. I was the #2 reporter on Smithtown, but I don't want to brag. He said, watch the pea, not the shell. Watch the pea, not the shell. A reference to the carnival game, right? And all of us, journalism is the process of watching the pea, not the shell. And I think that's what we need to do better.